Hi, welcome to Neil's Prose. Since this is my first post, I thought I'd write about one of my other firsts, my first crush. But I realized that I had two crushes so close together and so fraught with meaning that it would be impossible to separate them or to designate one as the first. Rather, I began to think of them as one episode leading to my first rebellion. To understand the totality of my rebellion, some background in religion is necessary. From the ages of 7 to 13, I attended Hebrew school 6 days a week. I went to grade school until 3 p.m., after which I went to yeshiva from 4 to 6 p.m. for Hebrew lessons. Then home for dinner, followed by homework from two different school systems. I did this Monday through Thursday. There was no Hebrew school on Friday, but there was a junior congregation on Saturday morning and more Hebrew school on Sunday morning. I was so overwhelmed that it was a wonder that I didn't do my regular homework in Hebrew and my Hebrew homework in English. Part of my first rebellion was not to do any homework at all. But what made it all worthwhile was the crush I had on Bela Goldstein, who just happened to be the head rabbi's daughter. I talked about her incessantly. My sisters would roll their eyes, my mother would giggle, and my father thought I was on the right path. Then came May 1960. I was 13 and had my bar mitzvah on a Saturday, complete with a party and a birthday cake. The next morning, my mother cut a slice of cake for me to bring to my Hebrew teacher. I walked into class, waved to my fellow students, handed over the cake, said shalom, and left. My obligation was over. That was the end of Hebrew school and of Bela Goldstein. This I now recognize was the start of my first rebellion. Even before my bar mitzvah, my attention had begun to wander across the courtyard to Patricia Amato. She and Bela were opposites in every way. Bela wore modest dresses and a Star of David. Patricia wore torn jeans before they were fashionable and a big gold cross. Bela went to synagogue with her father. Patricia went to church with her mother. Bela ate tuna fish sandwiches washed down with milk. Patricia ate ham and cheese sandwiches washed down with chocolate milk. I was smitten. I talked about her incessantly. My sisters continued to roll their eyes. My mother continued to giggle, and my father forbade me from visiting the Amato apartment. In the 7th grade, I was required to learn the tonet, a plastic flute-like instrument that sounded like it came from a cereal box. I was, and still am, not musically inclined. My entire repertoire consisted of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Naturally, I decided to serenade Patricia with my one song. I sat by my window and played to the girl across the courtyard. Patricia and I were part of a larger gang of kids who hung out on her block. Everyone knew I had a crush on Patricia Amato. Everyone but me also knew that Patricia Amato had a crush on Richie Ferrara. Neil Friedman was not in the equation. During that summer of 1960, our neighborhood had a big Italian fair held on the football field of the local high school. The fair had a mock marriage booth. I asked Patricia to marry me. There was some awkward laughter, some hemming and hawing, and finally her older brother, Vinny Amato, stepped in to rescue her. "Hey man," he said, "you can't marry my sister. She's not kosher." And just like that, my rebellion was cemented. I had officially left Hebrew school and fallen for a girl my father would have described as Cirrus, trouble. It didn't stop there. From Patricia Amato to Beverly Lombardi to Marianne Murphy and of course Catherine Elizabeth Grace, my romantic path continued along decidedly non-kosher lines. Oh, and by the way, Patricia Amato married Richie Ferrara at that mock marriage booth. They repeated that ceremony for real 10 years later and divorced after 5 years and 3 kids. But it all started in the summer of 1960 with a slice of cake, a plastic flute, and a young boy's crush on 2 very different girls. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.